on Wellness Week Live. Wellness Week Live. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Tell your friends and mom and dad. Hey, we're two friends just talking. We're not giving any medical advice. Always check with medical professionals. Okay, so Magnus, it's funny. I was driving around my county in America here in New Jersey, and I keep on seeing these places pop up for kidney dialysis. Like literally every couple of kilometers or miles. It's like, what the hell? Like 10 years ago, these places didn't even exist. It seems like every 3 minutes or 5 minutes of driving, I see another kidney place for kidney cleansing, kidney dialysis. And I was saying to myself, what the hell is going on? So I have a theory, and sure enough, I was like, I wonder why there's so many, kidney problems or whatever. And I just did a simple Google search. I mean, you're in the business, but I just was like, yeah, I wonder what would cause kidney problems, And my first reaction was, I bet you it's the American diet. But so yeah, I mean, I Googled it and it said factors that can increase your risk of chronic kidney disease are type 2 diabetes, which is something that you would give yourself. You're not type 1, you're born with it, but type 1 can be a problem too. High blood pressure, heart disease, which is, smoking, drinking 99% of the time, not eating right, whatever. Smoking, being overweight, and then family history, of course, yes, and abdominal kidney structure, which is those two last things are, you can't do anything about. But the majority of this list is what we do to ourselves. And I wasn't shocked, sadly enough. I said to myself, that's sad. These places are popping up dialysis, 80% of them because of people, what we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're not exercising, like not taking care of ourselves. And I said, wow, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like, people are, I just was like, wow.
But we're, again, like, it comes down to lifestyle most of the time. Like when we're seeing people that have issues with insulin sensitivity. So insulin is basically the hormone that gets released when we're eating a lot of especially carbohydrates and sugars. So blood sugar increases insulin, right? When we constantly are on a sugar high, like there's so much insulin out there, so sooner or later the receptor is going to be completely numb, so it doesn't really feel it. So, and that's usually a cause of why we get type 2 diabetes, why we being like going into obesity and things like that. And I heard a kind of scary fact that around 65 to 75% of the American population have some type of insulin, lack of insulin sensitivity. So we're almost immune to insulin. And that, dear friends, are 99.9% can we blame on our lifestyle and diet.
Right. It amazes me, so. And honestly, and I hate to say this, but, America, it's all about capitalism and, hey, business. And so if I had the money, I would open up one of these kidney places because it's only going to become more and more, unfortunately, more and more popular. And there's no, I mean, I see what kids are eating. It's just the parents are feeding them shit. I mean, I was just talking to somebody in my family this morning. She's actually she's my aunt, actually. So, and I love her to death, but and it's not her fault, but it is her fault. I mean, we have to, the onus is on us to educate ourselves. Our doctors are not going to spend the time with us. They're just going to be, yeah, take a pill. Like, they're not going to sit there. That's why you need someone like yourself, a nutritionist or a trainer or a dietitian, someone to, and I told her that, I go, hey, Mary, why don't you go find a nutritionist or a dietitian, someone you can talk to about your diet, because the pills, I'm not saying don't take them, but again, it's, so anyways, she's like, no, I'm doing good. She's telling me, I'm watching my sugar. I'm like, what do you eat in the morning? She's like, I have cereal. I'm like, hey, Mary. I'm like, and then she's like, well, it doesn't have a lot of sugar. I go, what are you eating? And I'm not going to say the brand, okay? But let's put it this way. It was, it's a popular brand that's garbage, so it wasn't. So I said, well, what are you eating? She's like, oh, this particular brand. I go, really? She's like, wow, what's wrong with that? She goes, there's only something like, 8 grams of sugar in it. I go, hold on, Mary. It's 8 grams of sugar, but do you know the serving size? I go, and that's the key. You have to know it's not 8 grams for the whole box. It's 8 grams per how much. And then, so we're talking and I go, listen, I don't know the box you're eating. Like, I'm not looking at the box. I go, but let's pretend it's 8 grams for a cup. I go, Aunt Mary, a cup is the size of the fist of your hand. I go, you okay? I go, you're telling me that you have a cup of cereal in the morning? I go, you don't. I go, you probably have at least 3 cups. So now it's not 7 grams. It's 21 grams.
24. Or 8, yes, 7, yes, yeah. Oh, it's a shit ton of sugar if we summarize it.
Right. And then, by the way, she goes, oh, I'm having milk. I go, well, guess what? Milk has sugar in it too. It's added. So no wonder your type 2 diabetes is not in check, So anyways, and she's, she meant well. She's trying her best. I go, you really have to talk to somebody, Aunt Mary. You can't do this on your own,
But Anthony, let me ask you this. Why is it way easier for people to spend quite a hefty sum on clothes, your car, new electronics, things like that, but you can't spare and pay a dime for nutrition,
right.
gym card, trainer, actually putting more money into buying better groceries, whatever it is. It's that step for people to actually invest in themselves. I honestly don't get it. It's so hard for most people.
You know why? Because humans are visual creatures. Because we cannot see our arteries and veins being deteriorated, and because we can't see our spleen and liver being destroyed, because we can't look into our bodies, we assume out of sight, out of mind. I can't see the destruction, so I must be doing fine until something really acute and bad happens. Then it's like, oh shit, what? I got liver disease? How'd that happen? Well, because of 40-something years of eating shit, drinking alcohol and so. So I think that's the reason why. If we could magically see through our bodies, if our bodies were transparent, then I think humans would be, especially Americans, we would be better. But because we don't see it, I can drink the alcohol, smoke. I don't know. I feel okay, but you don't. What's happening in you is slowly rotting you away, and then you get the diagnosis, and it's kind of too late. So that's why I think people don't give a shit, because they feel okay and they think they look okay, but inside is where the rotting is happening, and we don't see it. And I'm guilty of it too. Listen, I've had my share of cereals for decades. I lived on cereal, and the cake and the cookies and the pasta.
I still eat cereal, but I don't eat it every single day and huge amounts of it.
Listen, I had candy today, and so, and I get it, you got to live a little bit, but if you got type 2 diabetes, no candy for you, no pasta for you, no. You did enough treats and candy for decades.
Your account is already over. Like it's bouncing. Your checks are bouncing already.
Yeah, And by the way, you're gonna feel better. Don't you want to feel better? And I watch so many people I know and love that they're killing themselves slowly. Every day I see it in my family, and I'm just like, wow. Like, and I can't say anything. It's not. I'm not their daddy. I'm. It's not my business. You do you. You want to whatever. You know what I mean? But this is, again, it's heartbreaking. And again, I know I have a lot of work to do for myself too. I'm trying to always constantly better my nutrition and better my exercise. And I got to work on my stuff. No one's perfect. And I'm not saying torture yourself, folks, but I'm saying, like, at the minimum, I would say no alcohol, no soda, no diet soda, no sweet drinks. That's the minimum, I would say. Never let it touch your lips. But anyways, Magnus, before we hang up, anything you want to add?
Yeah. I mean, again, like, sooner or later you have to pay the price for it, and it comes down to choose your heart. I mean, yes, we have people with type 1 diabetes and things like that it's a genetical disease, right? But the problem is that we need to understand that, like, taking responsibility for our actions and also having an understanding is that, okay, you might be fine like 1-2 years down the road, but it will catch up. Like if you're sitting like sunk down in your couch, not moving anything, and just basically eating processed garbage food, very few people have the genetics to kind of get through that and be fairly healthy.
I would say nobody does. Yeah, I mean, right, and it's just sad. It doesn't have to happen. And by the way, you'll feel better. Don't you want to feel better? That's what it's about. You're going to, but yeah, anyways, but the kidney place.
A lot of people, it's that step is hard for people. Like they do not want to, like making the investment, it's hard for people, and like living, well, if my body's not doing, at least I'm gonna like splurge and like eat whatever I want. Well, that was what kind of caused the problem to start out with.
Right. And here's the tricky thing. Then the doctor gives them pills, right? And then, yes, they're, oh, look, my cholesterol's lower. My blood pressure's lower, you see? And then I can keep on eating
But
shit.
you have 5 other things that is out of whack.
I'll just take some more pills for that. I can keep on eating shit. I can keep on drinking. I can keep on eating shit and sitting. So that's, I think, the duality and the false paradox, the trickery of it. You know, it's like, well, I'm taking pills. I'm back to normal.
Yeah.
You're not. Right. Those pills have massive side effects to your liver, your spleen, your heart, your bone marrow. And it's just, anyways, but okay, folks.
It's like looking at it like this, like a lot of like, looking at it, a lot of people, like Americans, they like their American lifestyle, right? And also they're very proud and patriotic. The thing is, what they don't understand, that their biggest threat to this country is themselves and the lifestyle they live in. I mean, yeah, no one's gonna attack the United States, right? But they don't have to. It's just a time, like playing the long game, because people in this country are doing a great job of killing themselves.
100%, and it leads to right. And bad food, bad diet also leads to mental health problems too. It's the brain-gut connection. You know that. But anyways, okay, Magnus, we're going to wrap this up. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Again, questions, thoughts, please put them in the comments. Please follow us, subscribe, like, share these videos.
That's it. Thank you, everybody. Check back in. A bunch of great
Thanks,
shows.
guys.
Magnus, thank you, buddy. Have a good night, everybody.